the overall challenges which is being observed in the e-way bill and logistics. So the one of the challenges is that you get a lot of notices. So basically, for one particular invoice, you have the reporting in e-invoice, you have the reporting in e-way bill, and again you have a reporting in GSTR1. So if you don't have a sync process, so then there is a larger possibility that you might be reporting something incorrectly, or there is no consistently, the declaration is not consistent, like there would be some incorrect values being reported. So there is inconsistency in declaring in the declaration of an invoice in this three segment. So that is one of the critical things. So this could lead to, if the syncing is not in place, then this could lead to under reporting of invoices in GSTR1. So suppose you might have generated the e-way bill, but since you don't have a proper streamlined process, there could be a case that there is an under reporting in GSTR1. You might have missed reporting that sales transaction in GSTR1, or there is a value mismatch in the GSTR1. Now, if there is an under reporting or if there is a value mismatch, it not only impacts your overall compliance thing, it also impacts your buyer, because your buyer takes the input tax credit based on what you have reported, right? So it is very important to have the sync in process, so that you can avoid notices. So basically, one thing is that you need to have a sync process, and apart from sync process, I would also say you need to have a reconciliation also, because no matter how much of syncing you have done, you also need to have a final check whether everything is in sync or not. So a reconciliation process also needs to be there. So one of the critical thing is that you can get notices from the authorities, and then you have a particular time frame wherein you have to address these queries, and if you have not addressed this, then it might charge you a penalty, or you will be a defaulter. So one of the important thing is that, because there are so many documents which are linked with each other, and GSTN also, based on these data sets, they are also reconciling at their end and issuing the notices. So it becomes very important to have have a proactive check at your end, basically, to avoid the notices. So one of the challenges that. Second is, once you have generated an e-invoice, you have generated an e-way bill, you also need to have a visibility of that particular consignment, like where the consignment is. So at times the GPS might be linked with the truck, or at times due to bad signal, you cannot track even through the GPS, or there is no SIM track, or there is a difficulty that you cannot reach out to the driver, because the transporter is not able to reach to the driver, or as a company you're not getting the visibility from the transporter, or you're not able to track where the consignment is, because the driver is not available or the phone is switched off. So there is lack of accurate information in this case. And also, since you don't have a clarity where the vehicle is, so you don't know whether the correct route is being used or not. Are they following some incorrect routes, or which could lead to a fuel cost also. So basically, it will impact the transportation segment also. It will impact their working capital also, because if they are taking some incorrect routes, or there is a deviation in the route, then it can impact your fuel cost also. It will increase your fuel cost, basically. And also, if you don't have that, there is a high risk of fraud also, because you don't know where the consignment is. So there is a high risk of fraud or theft or goods stolen. So it is important that you have a tracking mechanism, because it is not just generating an e-invoice or an e-way bill, it is from the compliance side, but from the business side also, it is important that you have a some kind of a visibility where the truck is, or where the consignment is. So as a supplier or as a transporter, you can give an accurate information to your customer, so that the goods are delivered to them in time, or if there are any challenges, so you can let them know what is the estimated turnaround time of that consignment. So it is important to have some kind of tracking mechanism which helps you to inform your customers in a timely manner. The third important thing which I feel, and I think this is also one of the issues which is being faced, is verifying the data, because there are a lot of players in this entire journey. So there is a supplier, there is a buyer, there is a transporter, then there is a truck owner, then there is a driver. So there are so many players which are linked to the overall the consignment thing. So there are a lot of documents which are getting exchanged, because when you generate an e-way bill, you have the invoice copy also, then you have multiple other copies also, then you must be having the copy of the transporter, then some details about the vehicle or about the driver. So it is important that the verification is being done in a streamlined manner, so that you verify all the details and you have that confidence that with whom you're doing the business, whether that is a legitimate company or not. Uh, because an e-way bill is a day-to-day activity, and there are huge amount of consignments also. So it is critical to know whether your customer is legitimate or not, whether they have all the permits in place. Because if you have given the consignment to someone and the verification is not being done, then it can impact your overall shipment delivery also, because the goods might get stolen, or if you don't have the proper information, or that vehicle doesn't have that they don't have that validity in place. So it impacts the overall shipment also. So you need to have lot of information. So there should be some kind of a digital verification, because there are a lot of documents. And generally in the logistics segment, though technology has come up, but there is still a lot of scope wherein the technology can be implemented, so that it is more of a digital verification instead of a manual verification, so that all the processes are in place and you have the confidence with whom you're doing the business, and you can deliver the consignments to the consumers in time. So these are like the three critical issues which is there currently in the overall logistics and the e-way bill management flow. And now I would